Here is a digital tool, part of our expert suite of services, that introduces you to the NIAAA's Alcohol Screening and Brief Intervention for Youth, a Practitioner's Guide. More and more people are interested in using SBIRT with adolescents. This guide, prepared in collaboration with the American Academy of Pediatricians, encourages engaging even younger children in a discussion of alcohol use. Since we know that the earlier in life a person begins using alcohol, the greater the chance that they will develop a problem later on, using the SBIRT process with middle and high schoolers and even younger kids is a good idea. Though prepared with pediatricians in mind, this guide can be adapted for use by anyone dealing with children and adolescents. Let's take a look. The first thing I want to show you is how to order the guide. You can order copies of the Alcohol Screening and Brief Intervention for Youth guide from the NIAAA at no charge. There's no charge for this brochure. Notice it's actually two brochures. The first is a larger booklet, and then there's a small pocket-sized booklet that goes with it. You can order these in quantity so that you can have them for your use if you're a trainer, or if you're a practitioner yourself. You can order one or two, or as many as you feel you may need to meet your needs in whatever setting you're practicing. The order form is very simple, starting with quantity and filling out the form, as you can see there. And at the bottom, you simply submit publications for order. And as I mentioned, this is a process that's totally free. There's no charge for the information itself or for shipping and handling. But there's more on this website than just a way to order the brochures themselves. And let's take a look at some of those things. The first thing the website points out is the kinds of screens that can be used with younger people. It's important to note that there's screening devices in the brochure itself, in the guide itself, that can be used with children as young as 9 years old. But for adolescents, the use of the Alcohol Use Disorders Identification Test, the audit, or the craft are both acceptable. One thing to note about the audit is that if you look at question 3, you'll notice that it reads, how often do you have 5 or more drinks on one occasion? Those of you that are familiar with the audit from the World Health Organization will often see that number read, how often, or that question read, how often do you have 6 or more drinks on one occasion? The NIAAA has decided to reduce that number to 5 because it reflects the standard drink sizes in the United States. So that's just something to note. The craft is also there for you to look at. That's a screen of choice, actually, when dealing with adolescents. I'll put that up briefly so you can see the questions. It consists of 6 questions, and there's actually a couple of pre-screening questions as well. Very easy to administer. It's validated, it gives a score, and it's certainly usable with the SBIRT process. Some of the other things that are available on this website are also interesting. For instance, there is a clinician's toolkit, actually, that focuses on implementing mental health screening. So for those of you that are interested in screenings for mental health, you can check on that. There's a discussion of confidentiality as it relates to healthcare for youth, and this can be very important if you're working with youth in any setting, not just the healthcare setting. There's a little section on motivational interviewing as it applies to youth. And down below here, there's also a substance abuse facility locator that can be useful if you are making referrals to treatment for adolescents. You need to know about an adolescent program in your area. There's also information for parents. For instance, here's a parent's guide to teen parties, which gives good information to parents about how teen parties can be dangerous at times and things to look out for, as well as how to organize a teen party that can be safe, and you can be confident perhaps that no drinking will be taking place. And it's important to know that parents need to be aware of how they might be held responsible for things that might go wrong in a teen party. So this is a good resource for parents. There's also Other websites that are listed that are worth looking at. One is a page for parents who are sending their children off to college. That's certainly a good one for them to look at as well. And this time of year, or any time of year, this time of year being the spring, but any time of year it's a good time to maybe take a look at that site if you're anticipating your children going off to college. And for patients themselves, there's a website here for younger teenagers that the NIAAA hosts. It's an interactive website with lots of good information for young teenagers on alcohol. And finally, at the bottom, there's facts about underage drinking, which, of course, is a problem across the spectrum when dealing with youth, and so there's lots of good information there as well. So you can see that this is a very good website to be aware of. And it's not just a way to download or order the guide itself, but it contains lots of useful information for providers, parents, and kids themselves about alcohol use and its consequences. This resource is part of the National Screening and Brief Intervention ATTC's expert suite of services, and we hope you will take time to explore it in detail. You'll be glad you did.